Internet, what is really, really, really good? You know what it is. It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. That is me, by the way, just in case you forgot. And of course, I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And this is just going to be a little quickie, little rapid shoot thing, because I have been up for the span of 30 minutes, 3-0, count them, and I haven't done anything but the normal thing a person does when they get up. The bathroom, take a shower, brush their teeth. I haven't eaten yet, and I need to take care of that. But, you know, before I sat down to eat, I went to scroll through and looking at my news just to see what it was, make sure it wasn't no trailers uploading, things like that. And two pieces of information hit me square dap in the face, and I just want to talk about them real quick, and I won't take long, I promise. The first thing is that Yakuza 6, Yakuza 6 when it come out, it's like, Famitsu announced like all the fun bonus stuff you can do, and usually like, because in Yakuza 5 you could play like a version of Virtua Fighter 2, one of the whole bunch of other Sega arcade games. One of the major things is that, looking at this list before we get to the big thing that I have a question about, is that it says Puyo. Puyo is going to be something you can play, but it doesn't specify what version. See, here's the thing. Everybody plays lots of Puyo, but there's only one Puyo that people, resort to in a sense where you would want to port that game into your game within a game, and that game is Puyo Su, but that's another conversation. So it's good to have a nice non-answer on that. Good to have a non-answer of what version of Puyo is going to be in Yakuza 6, which leads into the question. Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown is supposed to be a playable game in Yakuza 6, and it doesn't specify like what it's going to actually be. Here's the thing. Virtua Fighter 5 has not technically been updated for 4 years in a way that would make sense to you, the game player, because version B came out last year, and all it did was take out the internet. That's all it did. There were no balance changes, no adjustments or anything. It just took out the internet. So the version that you can have access to right now, which is version A, I think it's version A revision 1, is the version that both of the downloadable versions on PS3 and 360, and you need to own that game, by the way. Catch it on sale or something. It'd be like $2 sometimes. $2 for Virtua Fighter, but then you gotta pay $30 for all the little goody goods and stuff like that. But it's a great game, and I could tell you all day how Final Showdown is that if this is how Virtua Fighter is going to end, and that's the swan song, it's an amazing way to go the fuck out, so you should play it. My problem, personally, has always been is that the Final Showdown that we got digitally wasn't a complete version of the video game. It was not a mirror image of what was in the arcade when it came to mainly, it's like it wasn't as high fidelity as the arcade version, and my main problem is that there were a whole bunch of costumes missing that you could put together. See, I have a problem when I know I can dress up Sarah like ooh la la and you don't let me. That's the problem for me. So Sega, I need y'all to get on that. Fuck with your boy. I'm like, I have said this since 2012. I would easily pay money for Final Showdown on a disc on PS4 and Bone at this point. If it's full version A revision 1 on a disc with everything on it, and the online the kids won't, because you can't have a video game or fighting game anyway without online in 2016. So it's going to be interesting to really see how this really shakes out, because I'm just assuming what's going to be in Yakuza 6 is just going to be that version that we got on last generation console stuffed in the Yakuza 6 and you could play it. Because that's what it was with Virtua Fighter 2. It was that version that we had got as part of the Model 2 selection, and it was just stuffed in there with less options. So you could play Virtua Fighter for technically free within your game, but there wasn't enough options to really do anything with it. But you could play online with it, which was kind of cool. So there's that. So it should be interesting to see how this all shakes out, about, mainly like what version of Puyo is going to be in there, like how Final Showdown is, because it's Final Showdown on PS4, but you can play the same thing that's probably going to be stuffed in Yakuza 6 right now. So I understand the fur, because internet going nuts right now, but it's like all they heard was Virtua Fighter 5 and Yakuza 6, and the internet's not thinking at all. Thinking with your actual brain of like, overhyping what the situation is versus, me coming down earth. Because I heard that and was like, it took me 2 seconds to come back down off my combat high, like, yo, word? And then I had to realize, like, well, they did that in the last game, so this is what this is going to be. So it should be interesting to see it shake out, and I want to be proven wrong. So we shall see about those things. Oh, I didn't notice that in this news thing that also going to be Outrun and Super Hang-On and Space Harrier and Fantasy Zone. Man, I can't wait for Shenmue 3. We shall see about that too. In other news, the news to me this morning is that the gods at M2 is like, well, you know what? You know how we took your Sega games and made them awesome as fuck? Guess what we're going to do now? All those cave and rising shooters you love, we're going to do it for them too. Well, it's not coming out on the 3DS because I don't think the 3DS can handle the amazingness of a bullet hell, but announced this morning via Famitsu as well is the M2ShotTriggers series, which is going to be bringing your favorite shmups to PS4 and possibly PC, because we know that Dangon Feveron, which is one of the games that have been initially announced for M2ShotTriggers, is supposed to be coming to Steam at some point. We learned about that leak last year when it came to that game and DDP Resurrection and a couple of other cave shooters. So we know that this stuff might come to PC. It might come to PC, but it might not. It's like Dagon Feveron coming to PC probably via Dekiga, but I don't have any idea what that literally means when it comes to these games, which are coming out on the PS4, and that's all we know. The news that got me hyped. Battle Garaga is the other game that's initially announced for this, and I love me some Garaga though. We've talked about this. You should watch my Super R-Type review. I talk a little bit about all the shmups we're gonna play once I get my situation right and get the right correct tools to present games like that in the way that they deserve to be presented and preserved for my history. So I'm going to be buying these with yen bucks because I'm like, the more Garaga, the better. I'm like, just say that M2 wants to welcome me to an arcade perfect version of Violent City, because holy shit, my brain will probably fucking explode. Because I don't know if you guys have heard or not, Bat Rider is my fucking shit. Bat Rider and Esprit, those are mine. I'm like, Bat Rider is my favorite. Is my favorite rising shooter, and Esprit, even for all the cave games I gave, it was the first cave game I ever played, and it's hold a special in my heart, and it's still my favorite. Still, so I would love to see all those games. It's like we could talk about back catalogs all day long. We could talk about back catalogs till I'm blue in the face. M2 the gods. So you can trust them that it's going to be beyond arcade perfect, and that's my fault. And the other thing, before we get out of here, is that one of the things that Google Translate mentions when you translate the news article that I'm looking at right now is that Garaga is going to have a revision 2016. So I don't know if that means that it's going to be a further revision to how the game works or anything, or they just calling it that for shits and giggles. But it's going to be interesting as fuck to see how this shakes out. This is going to be interesting as fuck to see how this shakes out, because I'm with whatever M2 want to do. M2 want to make some bombs. I'm like, oh man, you what y'all do, but this is going to be that shit. I'm like, I got to go out here and I got to go buy this, because that's probably the only way y'all might get a chance to get it in America. And just like with the Sega, the 3D Sega Classics, is that the reason they was able to make more because people went out in the street and showed love and supported that stuff. Anything is possible. Well, maybe not anything, because we've run out of systems that, that can support a port of Virtua Cop 3 at this point. And no one cares about my need for Planet Harriers. We can go on and on. Am I ever going to play Battle Trips on something for real? Hopefully somebody dumps that Kenju soon, because I really want to play that in a fucking emulator. I don't know. I do not know. So, that's it. That's all. I'm hungry now, because it was the only thing I didn't do, because we talked about this at the beginning. I'm hungry, so I'm going to go. Y'all sit up here and y'all think about this among yourselves. You guys go in the corner, go have story time. I'm finna go over here to my desk, and I'm finna go grade some papers. So with that being said, I am of course the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And of course this has been another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And with that, I will holler at you guys next time, man. Peace out.